It's high noon in the west, 3 p.m. in the east, and day 6 of the NFL star rape trial. So pull up a chair. This is your front row seat to justice. Welcome to Court TV Live and our coverage of the Kellen Winslow rape trial. I'm Seema Iyer. It has been a busy morning, folks, in the courtroom, with the jury hearing from the daughter of Jane Doe number 1 and from rape accuser Jane Doe number 4. Now, Jane Doe number 1's daughter is 26 years old and acknowledged her mom lied to the jury about her alcoholism as well as her mental issues.
Yeah, your mom is extremely paranoid?
Yes, she is.
Extremely paranoid. I mean, you use those terms.
Yes, she's extremely paranoid.
Worried about people, you know.
Yeah, she doesn't have any friends.
Doesn't have any friends.
No.
Right? And she's worried about strangers, apparently.
She's worried about strangers listening into her conversation. She's not worried about strangers talking to her.
Has your mom been treated? Is she being treated for any mental illness that you're aware of?
Relevance to explanation and calls for speculation.
Sustained. You need not answer that question. No.
After that, we heard from Jane Doe number 4. She is now 33 years old and claims that Winslow raped her when they both were in their teens at a high school party in 2003.
When you say that your face was being pushed into Matt's groin area, who was pushing you?
Kellen.
How was Mr. Winslow pushing you into Matt's groin area?
From behind.
Do you remember what part of his body he was using to push your face into Matt's area?
His hand.
Where was he pushing you with his hand?
His hand was on the back of my head.
And Your Honor, for the record, she's taken her right hand and placed it on the back of her head with an open palm pressing downward.
The record so reflects.
Our Court TV legal correspondent, Shanley Painter, is rushing from the courtroom to come talk to us. But in the meantime, we have criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool. Brian, what a morning it has been. Day 6, we are here.
Yeah, hi, Seema. Yeah, it's been crazy, but do you remember that phrase? I don't know if you watch reality TV. One of my favorite shows is Big Brother. Have you ever seen that show?
No, I'm more of
yeah,
the Bachelor kind of girl.
Well, I'm the Bachelor, Bachelorette, and my third one is Big Brother. Truth be told.
Okay.
So, but on Big Brother, they have coined this phrase on Big Brother that is they should have patented this phrase. It applies to criminal trials like this. Remember what they say? They say, expect the unexpected.
Oh,
that's what
yes.
they always say on Big Brother. Well, that's right. Well, that applies here. Expect the unexpected with Jane Doe 1's daughter getting to testify. I mean, a big surprise for the defense. But in the end, I feel like the prosecution should not have called Jane Doe 1's daughter. I don't think it helped their case. And I think it gave ammunition to the defense that, hey, look, the district attorney is so desperate that he's got to call the daughter after she saw this on TV. And I think, and at the end of the case, too, Seema, I mean, these jurors are going to get an instruction, and I'm sure you've been familiar with this, where they weigh the credibility of witnesses. One of the first factors they look at is, are they related to the victim, or are they biased in any manner? I mean, I think the jury is just simply going to discount her testimony.
Well, Brian, the two main, in my opinion, the main standouts of how Jane Doe number 1's daughter, Summer Foster, we can call her by her name. So Ms. Foster really hurt Jane Doe number 1 is, number 1, saying that she does in fact suffer from some type of alcoholism. And number 2, that statement that Ms. Foster made, she went into the mom's room, and this was the day after St. Patrick's Day 2018. St. Patrick's Day is the date of the alleged incident. And she walks in and she saw the pants on top of the laundry, and she said something to the effect of, "Oh, you ruined your pants." And her mom responded in essence saying that she was menstruating at the time, which is a big difference than blaming Kellen Winslow for the gushing of blood that occurred in the vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. You would have expected a response from a sexual assault victim if your daughter mentioned blood on your clothing. You would have expected the mom, the victim, the alleged victim in this case, to say something to the effect that, hey, I was just raped. I was just sexually assaulted. In other words, Jane Doe 1's comment should have been contemporaneous with her daughter asking her about the blood. I mean, this was devastating for the prosecution. It shows, arguably, that it didn't happen the way that Jane Doe 1 says, or else she would have said, hey, look, I just got raped. But it also validates the fact that she even admitted that I think there was already evidence that she was menstruating.
Well, okay. Well, that's a point of contention, whether she was menstruating or she's gone back and forth with saying she was menstruating, and I believe, and I will confirm with Chanley Painter, but I believe at trial she said she was not, and that she could sense a gushing. That's how she described the feeling. But okay, so let's talk about what you were just saying. Maybe it's not reasonable that she didn't tell her daughter what had happened. So Ms. Foster said that she asked if everything was okay, and then Jane Doe number 1 said, yes, I was attacked, I'm going to file a police report. And she didn't ask any further questions because she was trying to avoid an argument with her mother, because historically the two of them would have arguments when the daughter would ask the mother personal questions. Do you think the jury is buying that line of testimony?
No, I don't think they're buying that. I think what they are buying is that Jane Doe 1's daughter has corroborated what the jury, I think, is believing, which is that her mom has a vivid imagination. She's got issues with paranoia she talked about. She lied about
but wait a minute, Brian,
her alcohol use. I think that's
Brian, that paranoia thing, that should not have been allowed in. Paranoia is a mental health diagnosis, and someone should have shut that down. None of that should have been allowed in.
Yeah, again, I disagree with you. Here's why. The prosecuting attorney made a big mistake. It's called putting on too much evidence. Sometimes too much is not good for a criminal trial like this. What I mean by that is he arguably opened the door, because he comes in last minute with this Hail Mary witness. Oh, wait a minute. I have testimony about my mom's rape case. So the judge, Seema, had, in my opinion, to throw a little bit of a bone or a concession to defense counsel, because they get blindsided in the middle of trial. So I think it's fair game. And I think, look at her. And again, I'm not being demeaning toward Jane Doe 1, but the fact of the matter is her lifestyle, the way she lives her life is on trial as well. Jurors are going to look at that. And it's not far-fetched to think that somebody in her position has issues with paranoia. She's got drinking issues. She lied about the drinking profusely. I mean, this opened up a big can of worms.
No, you're right.
Had they not called her,
okay, and you're right.
This doesn't come in.
Opening the door is allowed. You're right, because they want her to come in, so the prosecution opens the door, and therefore everything comes in. And right now, you added the third thing to my list. So the first thing was the issue with the menstruating. Now we have the paranoia. That didn't help her mom's case. And then, of course, we have the drinking. Let's listen to a piece of sound from Ms. Foster talking about her mother's drinking.
You saw that she clearly lied to this jury during her testimony. You saw that, didn't you?
Yes, she lied about her alcoholism.
Straight up, she said that she doesn't drink. Correct? You saw
Correct.
that?
I saw it.
Wait, just a moment. Let's slow down the pace. I just asked you to make sure she's finished with her answer before you ask the next question, just for the benefit of the court reporter. So go ahead.
She told this jury that she hadn't drank for 30 years. You saw that, right?
Yes.
That's a flat-out lie, isn't it?
It is.
You saw your mom take an oath to tell the truth.
Objection, argumentative.
Cross-examination.
Overruled.
You saw that, right?
Yes.
Right? To tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
So help me God. Correct?
Correct.
And then she looked at this jury and lied. Yes?
Yes, about her alcoholism.
Okay, Brian, before we listen to what Jane Doe number 1 actually said about her drinking, I think this entire line was also objectionable. And the daughter didn't have to just blatantly say she lied unless a foundation was laid that the daughter, who didn't live with the mother, but if the daughter lived with the mother or saw the mother every single day and could say that she drank every single day or established a pattern that would be tantamount to alcoholism, fine, it could come in. But the fact that this woman is allowed to say that her mom lied to the jury, lied. She could have just said, listen, I think she has a drinking problem. I think she drinks. But you can't say this woman's been lying for 30 years. This was way, way, way out of control.
Seema, we need to get you a black robe. You would look great in that black robe because your objection this time, again, if I'm sustaining your objection, and here's why for your viewers. Witnesses cannot testify as to conclusions. They can only testify as to facts, observations, like you're talking about. Asking her or crucifying the daughter on cross saying, isn't it true your mom lied? That's an ultimate conclusion for the jury to decide, not for a witness to testify to. It's well beyond the bounds of fairness. But guess what? Whose fault is that? It's the prosecuting attorney, right? We need to get him a membership to 24-hour fitness so he can bulk up a little bit and get a little bit tougher in that courtroom and start having objections. Or we're gonna put my earpiece in his ear and let you help him. How about that?
God. I don't know if they want that from either of us. Brian, let's actually remind ourselves and the viewers of what Jane Doe number 1 said when she testified about her drinking.
It was St. Patty's Day, and I went out, period.
Well, it was Saturday afternoon.
Or afternoon.
Right. And it was St. Patrick's Day. And had you been drinking?
No.
Were you going to go drink?
No.
Do you drink?
No.
Okay, so there you have it. That is definitely different. But again, there was no continued pattern of alcoholism established, at least through either of those questionings. Now, Brian Claypool, I'm going to ask you to stand by, please. We're going to fit in a short break.